Hey there, welcome back to Reddit XO, the best channel for Reddit cheating stories. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for more stories like these.
My GF female 27 has been cheating on me male 26 while living in my house. I have undeniable proof. What can I do? So, let's have a look at the situation in more detail. I invited my girlfriend to live with me about a year and a half ago since I own a home, and I wanted her to be close to her family. While I have just accepted a position out of state and am now living out of state during the workweek, I return to my hometown on weekends to spend time with my family and friends. The fact that she has shown an interest in migrating here with me means that this is just a temporary circumstance. I have a strong suspicion that you are aware of where this is going. The fact that my girlfriend has been cheating on me when I am away from home during the week and has been bringing guys to my house while I am away has come to my attention. I have indisputable proof on my side. I've come to the end of the first section of my question. Is it legal for me to just evict her from the home since I own the property and her name is not on any of the deeds? According to what I've read, I'm meant to provide a few days' notice, but everything I've read indicates that I'm supposed to give a little more notice. Regardless of whether it makes a difference, the home is located in Pennsylvania. I am still going to move her possessions out of my home and into her mother's apartment in respect to the second half of my worry, even if I am forced to legally give a warning in this case. The only problem is that, because she is currently unemployed, I need to get her out of the house for at least 10 hours so that I can clear out all of her belongings and ensure that she has no reason to return to the house after I inform her that the process is complete. I need to get her out of the house for at least 10 hours because she is currently unemployed. Please advise on how I can get her out of the house for that amount of time without making her feel uncomfortable. I'm at a loss for how to get her out, so any creative ideas you have would be much appreciated. Thanks in advance. Whatever the case, I'm probably going to give it a go anyhow. What I'm seeking for are creative ideas on how to get her out of the house for a long enough period of time so that she may transfer her items to her mother's residence. She will have no reason to return to my house after I have informed her that the event has concluded as a result of my actions. Edit: I appreciate the legal advice, but I was wondering if you could also offer me with some direction on how to conduct myself in a morally proper manner. Can you tell me what I can do to evict her from the house long enough for me to move her possessions elsewhere? This is something that I will not only not leave outside, but I will also not throw away. She will be residing with her mother when I kick her out of the home, so I intend to personally deliver the package there myself. I'm in severe need of some advice right now. Please make use of your creative imagination. Being around her for any length of time other than what is absolutely required makes me sick to my stomach. I need her to get out of here as soon as possible. She will never go anywhere again when I push her out of the home, because I will have thrown all of the evidence that I have at her feet, and she will never go anywhere again. She wouldn't have the fortitude to speak out against the situation if she were in her position. The thought of seeing me would make her feel so uncomfortable that I'm almost positive she would never want to see me again. She, on the other hand, will be adamant about not leaving her home. Ultimately, this is the essence of the issue. I need to get her out of the house for a short period of time, so that I may physically move her items to a storage facility so that she has no reason to return to the house. My expectation is that this will be the last of it once she and her possessions are no longer here. Story 2. High school sweetheart, M39, wants a divorce after 21 years of being together. This is my first post, and I, F36, would really appreciate any advice you could give me. My long-term partner of 17 years asked for a divorce around 4 months ago, and I consented without hesitation. It would be an understatement to say that it took everyone by surprise. The man I'm with now has been in my life for more than half of it, and we're still together. This incident has left me feeling completely and totally shattered. In addition to our 2-year-old, my husband and I have 3 children, ages 17 and 12, as well as a 17-year-old. When he asked for a break, I obliged, thinking that he needed time to relax following a very difficult period of time in his life. He was stressed out as a consequence of his time spent working in a sales department, and he was eventually dismissed, which was unfortunate. In addition, he started to have panic-like attacks. This, along with the fact that he is the father of 3 children, an adolescent, a tween, and a newborn, has had a profound effect on him. A succession of anxiety attacks, as well as a time of unemployment, had happened over the course of the preceding couple of years. I'm completely at a loss on what to do next. Following our divorce, he expressed a desire to continue living with me and our children until he could get a permanent place of his own. I accepted since he does not have a source of income or work. Several months later, my woman's intuition begins to raise red flags, signaling that something is wrong. On weekends, he started arriving at his residence after the clock struck 12 o'clock. To begin with, I believed he was just hanging out with his buddies and, I don't know, getting better or something along those lines. This is the time of day when I'm either at home with the kids or at work. It was impossible for me to go out since we just had one car and no other transportation. Aside from that, I like to spend my time at home. It wasn't long before I had a nasty feeling about the way he was acting. The fact that we started hanging out with my cousin and his wife was the first time I realized I couldn't place my whole trust in him or our marriage. My husband and I started spending time with them around 5 years ago. We haven't stopped since. Whenever I saw my husband's interactions with her, or when she observed his interactions with him, I would get a peculiar feeling. Things like the fact that they would have their own private conversations while my cousin and I were in the same room with them were particularly disturbing. My husband and her would be in the kitchen conversing with her if I was in the living room talking with my cousin. My unhappiness with it was brought up with him, and he understood my frustration with it. As if I was deluded and that it was all in my brain, he would ignore it. I went on the assumption that he was accurate and placed my trust in him. A little more than a week ago, I realized that he has been having an emotional affair with this particular person. At this time, it has been going on for about 3 months. It was the same amount of time that he sought to be released from his employment with my firm. At the same time that my cousin/her husband was forced to be away for a few years, he is now in prison. I learned that he had been making deliveries to her place of business. My eyes were opened to discover that she had paid for him to stay in a hotel for 2 nights so that he could shower, which was fitting considering that I had kicked him out of my flat the night before. I've pleaded with him to go, but he refuses to budge, arguing that this is precisely what I wanted. I mean, I couldn't bear the notion of him going out with someone else and coming home just to wash his clothes and fall asleep at the end of the evening. To be clear, I did indeed kick him out of the home. He's practically homeless and without a place to live. He claimed to have been asleep in our car while we were driving. In addition, he refuses to realize that anything physical is happening in the room with him. It seems that my activities have angered and insulted both him and her. It has been brought to my attention that my ex-girlfriend thinks I am being dramatic and that all they have is a friendship. She believes I've offended her by assuming she's having an affair with my husband, and that this has caused her distress. She has informed me that I must refrain from making false accusations. Despite the fact that we are temporarily separated, I have asked that he discontinue interacting with her, but he has said that he would not comply with my request. He believes that my connection with him has come to an end because of me. And he has made it obvious that he does not want anything to do with me, and that he will not stop talking to her until he achieves his goal. I'm seeking for any advice on how to go from here. I'm still reeling from the betrayal I've suffered at the hands of both of these people. My suspicions are confirmed even though there hasn't been any physical contact between the two of us. I'm utterly bewildered by this situation. What should I do in this situation?